Beginning our list at number 10 is Bill Cosby. For many years, he carried the title of America's Dad because he was a role model in show business and a big influence for other generations of comedians. He also played the father of the famous TV family on The Cosby Show. He was adored by many, to say the least, so much so that even after sexual assault claims came out towards him in 2005, he was still capable of continuing on with his career. It wasn't until 2014 when his career took a hit and one of his victims came forward and told her story to the Daily Mail and the Washington Post. After that, more than 60 accusers came forward and spoke against him, and he was placed behind bars in 2018. Coming in next, number 9 is Amy Schumer. People fell in love with her quickly after they saw her interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show. She quickly rose to fame and became one of the highest paid female comedians. But the jokester has been accused of going too far with some of her jokes. And many people would agree that either you hate her or you love her. There's really no in between when it comes to her. I personally find her hilarious. However, I don't always agree with some of her jokes and commentary. Like this one. One time she took things too far and made a really bad joke about Ryan Dunn's death. He was known for his time on Jackass and died tragically in a car accident. During one of her skits, she took a jab at Ryan's longtime friend Steve-O and said, "I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I know you were thinking it could have been me. And I know we are all thinking, why wasn't it?" She was actually booed off stage for that. It was that bad. Coming into number 8 is Lance Armstrong. For a long time, he was known as one of the greatest cyclists of all time until he became famous for being involved in one of the biggest doping scandals in cycling history. After finding out that he was using drugs and cheating the system, it was hard for fans to hate him at first because he was a heroic cancer survivor. He often tried to inspire others, but they still couldn't ignore the fact that he was very wrong for what he did. The US Anti-Doping Agency said he ran the most sophisticated, professionalized, and successful doping program that the sport has ever seen. In the end, he was actually stripped from his cycling titles, dropped by all of his sponsors, and was banned from professional cycling races altogether. His career and reputation have never been the same since. Let's just say that. In spot number 7 is Kylie Jenner. There's no denying that she is loved by many people, even if you are not one of them. She does have a huge fan base who very much support her. But people are not impressed with her behavior right now after some drama came to surface. This past Friday, Forbes dropped an article titled "Inside Kylie Jenner's Web of Lies and Why She's No Longer a Billionaire." They took back her billionaire title, accusing her of inflating her personal wealth and forging her tax returns. Kylie shut them down on Twitter, but never commented on these accusations. She simply said that she never asked for the title or tried to lie her way there. Articles have surfaced since then saying that Kylie is furious with her mom, who also is her manager and earns 10% of her earnings, and apparently she's refusing to take her calls. Why, you might ask? Because sources say that Kylie doesn't know who to trust right now. Maybe it was her mom who leaked some information. We're not sure. However, both of them are very worried as to what this could do to her brand. Rolling into number 6 is TJ Miller. At the beginning of 2017, he was on top of the world. He played the fan favorite character on Silicon Valley, Weasel in the Deadpool franchise, and landed his own HBO special, Meticulously Ridiculous. He was killing it. But his career started to take a hit when HBO announced that the producers of Silicon Valley and the comedian mutually agreed to end their partnership. But details came out saying that TJ did not want to do it anymore and said that he slammed the show's writing and had tension with the producer. Later down the road, he was accused of sexual assault by a woman from his past, but denied all the allegations. Then, he allegedly submitted a fake bomb threat and was arrested in April 2018. So, he's got a list of reasons as to why he's on this list. Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Trisha Paytas. She did quite the damage on her career in 2019, despite being one of the biggest YouTubers at the time. One of the biggest controversies that pretty much ruined her reputation is when she posted a video saying that she is transgender. Being transgender was not the issue. It was how she spoke about it, saying that she identifies with men better and identifies herself as a gay man because she likes guys. People did not really believe her, and it seemed more like a publicity stunt than anything. And then after that, she posted videos of her making out with Jaclyn Hill's ex-husband, and seeing as he is not gay and identifies as a man, people were even more pissed off and confused. I'm still confused about that whole thing. Here now, number 4 is Amber Heard. If you are on the internet these days, then this one is pretty self-explanatory. She's had a very successful acting career, and with that comes millions of adoring fans. But that all changed after the lawsuit between her and her ex-husband Johnny Depp has been all over the media. Detailed evidence has proven that she made up her allegations about Johnny Depp abusing her, and she could be facing up to 3 years in jail for her own domestic abuse charges against him. She will be jailed if found guilty for manipulating and faking evidence in her lawsuit. She posted photos of her face being all bruised up and said that Johnny did it, but her own stylist has come forward and said that she did not see any visible marks, cuts, or bruises on her face or body that day. The photos that she posted with bruises all over her face are said to be photoshopped. In our 3rd spot is Lana Del Rey. The singer was under fire recently after she posted a lengthy Instagram post where she called out other female artists for being successful because they sing sexy lyrics and wear no clothes. Her words. She called out stars like Doja Cat, Ariana Grande, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce, which fans pointed out appeared to be racist. It was a long post that seemed to put down other female artists and writers, and people were quick to defend everyone mentioned in her post. She compared her music and conservative look to deserve more praise over the other females who take off their clothes and talk about sexuality. Things seemed to get so bad that Ariana Grande actually unfollowed her on Instagram, and other female celebrities publicly disagreed with her post. Coming into number 2 is Katherine Heigl. There was a time when she was showing up in practically every rom-com, and people loved seeing her bubbly self on the screen. But then she gave her brutally honest opinion about one of them, and people started to dislike her. She took the lead in the 2006 movie Knocked Up, and in 2008 she opened up about how she felt about it. In the January issue of Vanity Fair, she said the movie was, I quote, "a little sexist. It paints women as shrews, as humorless and uptight, and it paints the men as lovable, goofy, fun-loving guys. It exaggerated the characters, and I had a hard time with it on some days. Why is this how you're portraying women?" This interview alone was enough for people in Hollywood to turn away from wanting to work with her, but it was sealed when she did another interview in 2008 where she dissed the writing in her show Grey's Anatomy as well. Girl, it's like you're purposely trying to ruin your career. Earning the number 1 spot is Kevin Spacey. Because he is hated so much now, it's hard to actually remember the time when people actually loved him. The once 2-time Oscar winner was very loved before he was facing felony assault charges. He was once killing it on his Netflix series House of Cards, but things changed in October 2017 when an actor named Anthony Rapp accused him of making sexual advances towards him when he was only 14 years old. After the story was published, more than 30 people came forward with allegations, accusing him of things ranging from harassment to attempted rape. It was officially announced that he was fired from his Netflix show House of Cards. As for his sentencing, people hate him even more now because he basically walked away as a free man from the whole thing. I don't know if we should hate him or if we should hate the system. In the number 10 spot is Doja Cat. She's got tons of fans, but recent times haven't been the best for her after she came under fire for saying offensive things online. It wasn't long into the controversy before people started a very trending hashtag Doja Cat is over party. And in this generation, that is when you know you've been canceled. When they create a hashtag that you're over. Allegations surfaced that claimed she had taken part in racist video chats and wrote a song in 2015 called Didn't Do Nuffin', which is racist slur mocking victims of police brutality. Because of what is happening in our world right now, people were not happy. She did issue an apology for the song, but denied taking part in any kind of racism online, even though they did have video evidence to prove it. Things just are not looking good for her right now. Coming in next, number 9 is Jake Paul. One of the most popular YouTubers right now is on people's most hated list after being accused of looting the riots this past weekend. An Arizona mall was completely destroyed in a riot, and Jake Paul was caught on camera in the midst of it, with all of it happening around him. You don't actually see him steal anything, but he is right there while everyone around him is destroying the stores and stealing everything inside. Jake posted on his Instagram story that the cops tear gassed him and were pointing guns at him. You can see in some of the videos posted online that Jake had some of his YouTube film crew with him, camera in hand. The world was furious that he was taking part, but Jake responded with a very long statement. He said he did not engage in any of the violence or vandalism and does not condone it, but that he understands it. Sniping the 8th spot is Lori Loughlin. The actress has always been adored for her time on the hit TV series Full House, but she was recently sentenced 2 months behind bars, along with her husband, who was sentenced to 5 months. They were busted for being involved with a college admission scam which helped their daughters cheat their SAT scores and get admission into college. They paid $500,000 in bribes. They argued that they thought their payments were donations that would go to the University of Southern California as a fundraising gift, but they ended up pleading guilty when all was said and done. As part of their plea deal, she will also be paying a $150,000 fine, and she has to perform 100 hours of community service. Next up at number 7 is Jennifer Lawrence. It's hard to tell the overall consensus when it comes to this beauty. Some people will defend her, and some will totally drag her name in the dirt. She skyrocketed into fame after people fell in love with her for her role in the Hunger Games. She became one of the youngest winners for the Best Actress at the Academy Awards, and was the highest paid actress in 2015 and 2016. Somewhere along the lines, though, people started to turn against her, saying they can't relate to her anymore. They said that she became rude in person and she wouldn't acknowledge them or take photos with them anymore. People have raved online that they once adored her normal girl persona, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. She just isn't relatable. Moving on to number 6 is James Franco, one of the most popular actors in Hollywood at one point until he got exposed for being inappropriate with minors and accused of sexual assault. It started back in 2014 when screenshots surfaced showing that he was trying to rent a hotel room with a girl that he knew was 17 years old. The scandal did eventually fade out, but then in 2018, he showed up to the Golden Globes wearing a Time's Up pin, and women started coming forward accusing him of sexual assault and harassment. Since then, he has deleted all of his social media and he has remained off our screen for years. He did try to come back last year with his own movie called Zeroville, but it was a complete flop. Like one of the worst in history. Almost embarrassing. No, it was embarrassing. At the halfway point is Harry Jowsey. He skyrocketed into fame with his ex-girlfriend Francesca after their Netflix series aired called Too Hot to Handle. People quickly fell in love with them as individuals, but also as a couple. They openly talked about their marriage plans on social media, so it was a shock when Francesca posted a YouTube video explaining why they broke up. In her video, she claimed that some of the cheating rumors that were going around were true, and that she could only handle so much. Enough was enough. So naturally, the world turned against him because everyone hates a cheater. But he responded with his own video saying that the rumors were not true and that he simply fell out of love with her. Let's just say, people weren't really buying that excuse. Oh, I just woke up and didn't love you anymore, you know? Just like that. Here now at number 4 is Charlie Sheen. He was on top of the world when starring on his hit TV series 2.5 Men, earning more than any other actor on TV at the time. There's probably a list of things that play a factor as to why his career came to an end. His struggle with drugs and alcohol, his erratic and inappropriate behavior, his feuds with other celebrities. But it's hard to forget his ABC interview when he was asked if he was still using drugs. He said, "I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. It is not available. If you try it once, you will die. Your face will melt off and your children will weep over your exploded body." He then went on to talk about sleeping with prostitutes. The entire interview is manic and whack, but no one could ever forget his famous line when he said that he had tiger blood running through his veins. Since that moment, that has been an ongoing joke. However, I gotta give props when it's due. It does seem like he has turned his addiction around, so you gotta give props where it's due, because that's nothing to mess around with or joke about. Alright guys, at number 3 is Britney Spears. I don't know if it's hate as much as it is confusion. People don't even know how to feel about her these days because she's just so different from how we remember her before she shaved her head and smashed a car window with an umbrella. She was once the biggest pop star in the world for many years, until she had a mental breakdown and then just disappeared from the limelight for a while. Then, when she made her way back, she was just very different. Her voice and music is still the same, but her social media presence has everyone hella confused. She often looks dazed, she does these wild, strange dances, and she talks about how she burned her home gym down. Like literally, in a video, she just casually tells you that she burnt down her entire home gym. How does that happen? Taking over the number 2 spot is Ellen DeGeneres. For anyone who has been out of the loop lately, the world is turning against Ellen in 2020, claiming that she is not as nice as she appears to be. Celebrities have exposed her and shared bad experiences they had with her on the show. Fans have even come forward with stories of mistreatment, and even former employees have explained stories where she did not treat them kindly, like you probably thought that she did. There are honestly way too many examples to list, but if you missed all the drama, we have covered the whole thing on our channel, so I will add a link somewhere on the screen so you guys can get all caught up on that. There's a lot of tea, let me tell you. Earning the number 1 spot is R. Kelly. One of the most popular artists for many years, but the R&B singer has been facing sexual abuse allegations for more than 2 decades. And somehow he was getting away with it the entire time. Until now. In 2019, he was officially charged after they found video footage that they could use as valid evidence. The footage came from an old documentary of his life that showed he had been with a girl he knew was underage. He had been denying it the whole time that he knew her age, but in the video, he actually states her name and age, like from his own mouth. He was charged with 13 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse and 2 separate federal indictments for sex trafficking, all of which he has pleaded not guilty to. As of now, he is currently sitting behind bars, and his victims were able to share their stories in the Netflix documentary Surviving R. Kelly. If you have not watched it, go watch it. It's so worth it. It was so well done. Starting us off at number 10 is Myka Stauffer. The YouTuber is facing some serious heat right now that goes beyond online drama. Authorities launched an investigation into the welfare of her adopted son Huxley after she and her husband announced that they had placed him with another family. The Delaware County Sheriff's Office said the investigation is currently ongoing and that they will be doing home studies and background checks. The couple are now under fire because their son Huxley, who has autism, has always been a big part of their story. They made videos regarding the adoption process, his condition, their struggles, all of which were monetized and made significant revenue. She is receiving a ton of ridicule and has lost some very big partnerships with brands. Next up at number 9 is Joe Exotic. It's hard to really include him on this celebrity list, but the truth of the matter is he did skyrocket into fame after his documentary came out on Netflix. You have reached some level of fame when they immediately cast a movie off your documentary and hire Nicolas Cage to star as you. So he's got to be famous. But people are losing respect for him very quickly after stories came out about how much his documentary lied about details. Turns out he really did have tigers killed and even shot an innocent horse to use it as meat food at his zoo. There were a lot of sketchy details that surfaced after the documentary ended, and people are not in love with his goofy character anymore. Plus, they also didn't respect that his team is tweeting out currently about his freedom during the middle of a Black Lives Matter movement. We ain't trying to help you out of prison, alright? Sliding into number 8 is Kristen Stewart. People adored her after she took on the lead role as Bella Swan in the Twilight series. Although they thought her acting could have been better, they loved the franchise and the fact that she was dating her co-star Robert Pattinson in real life. But then the world turned against her when photos leaked online of her making out with a different man, a much older married man, might I add, who was her director in Snow White and the Huntsman. Ever since then, people have ridiculed her for being a cheater and has torn her acting apart in every movie after Twilight. Like literally, there's memes that float around the internet poking fun at how terrible of an actress she is. It's like, I feel bad, it's funny, but like, girl needs to make more than one facial expression. All I'm gonna say. Sliding into number 7 is Colleen Ballinger. You would probably know her better as Miranda Sings, the ridiculous child-friendly character she created that gave her this unexpected life in Hollywood. But she caused a ton of controversy after a 17-year-old named Adam McIntyre made a YouTube video that claimed she sent him lingerie and had him work her social media accounts but did not pay him like they agreed on. He alleged that they formed a relationship back in 2016 when he was just 13 years old and he would ghostwrite content for her Miranda Sings character. But one of his ideas was that she would come out as a Meghan Trainor fan but make it seem like she was like coming out. The LGBTQ community was livid, and she issued an apology claiming that she did not approve of it. But he showed screenshots of her agreeing with the initial idea. As for the lingerie, she said it was a joke, but no one found it funny or excusable. Cruising's number 6 is Paris Hilton. She was once the big talk of the town when she became a household name for her phrase, "That's hot." She had the title of best-selling author at one time and was a highly paid actress, model, DJ, and brand ambassador. But her career started to dwindle, and she blames it on her 2004 sex tape that went viral. It was called One Night in Paris. Clever. Paris claims that the sex tape was actually put out by her ex-boyfriend and was never meant to be seen by anyone. She said it has completely ruined her life, but other people would argue it was her bad acting that did not progress her resume. Well, that, and she also made some awful homophobic comments about not wanting to be gay because apparently, quote, "you will die of AIDS." Halfway through at number 5 is Adam Sandler. He's been one of the biggest actors in Hollywood pretty much my entire life, and he's always been adored for his talent. I didn't realize what people thought about the actor until I started doing some research. People have criticized his work over recent years, saying that his movies aren't as good as they were before, and basically have said that his time is up. Forbes gave him the title for Most Overpaid Actor for 2 years in a row back in 2013 and 2014. I don't fully understand why he's hated so much. I think people are just kind of over him and maybe have moved on and started like adoring other actors. I've always liked Adam Sandler, so I personally don't hate him, but I would really like to know your guys' opinion on Adam Sandler. Do you hate him? Do you think his time has passed, or is he just as good as he's always been? Let me know what you think. We are moving on to number 4, and we have Mel Gibson. There was a time when Mel Gibson was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, but then he basically started to drown in controversy, and it all started in 2006 when he was arrested for a DUI. He blamed the DUI as having a breakdown and said that he was wasted and angry. But that was not the only thing. It's also hard to forget his fall from grace in 2010 when a series of taped phone conversations between him and his then girlfriend were released. You could hear the actor verbally attacking her with profanity, threats, and racial slurs. He even went as far as saying that he hopes she gets raped. When doing interviews about the phone meltdown, he had no problem continuing to offend people based on race, sexual orientation, gender, and immigration status. Hollywood just began to lose respect for the actor, and so did his fans. Alright guys, in the 3rd spot is Miley Cyrus. Now, I've been a fan of her since the good old Hannah Montana days, so this one is a little hard for me to admit. A lot of people have turned away from her in recent years because of some of her choices and behavior. She has been in the center of controversy for years now, but the most recent one was when she got divorced from her longtime hubby, Liam Hemsworth. Because just a few days later, she was spotted kissing another woman. And then not long after that, she was filmed making out with Cody Simpson, who she is now dating. Now, her love life is her personal business, but people were very invested in her and Liam's relationship and couldn't understand how she moved on so quickly and then posted about it all over social media like she didn't even care about it. Don't agree with all her decisions, but I still like her. Taking over spot number 2 is Logan Paul. His brother Jake was on our part 2 list because he is currently in some heat, but Logan lost his YouTube career a few years ago. Logan was the first Paul brother to have his career really take off, but it all came to an end when one of his videos made news headlines for all the wrong reasons. He vlogged a trip with his friends to the famous suicide forest in Japan, but didn't do it respectfully. The forest has the title because people are known to go into the forest to commit suicide, and Logan actually came across a dead body on his visit. He caught the entire thing on camera and posted it to his YouTube channel. People were furious because of how disrespectful it was, not to mention he and his friends were all laughing in the video about what they just saw. He lost his biggest sponsorships on YouTube and had to go on TV to publicly apologize. Yeah, he ended up leaving YouTube altogether. Successful podcast nowadays, but YouTube not so much. Earning her number 1 place is Lea Michele. The Glee actress is under fire recently after accusations were made on Twitter, accusing her of making a co-star's life a living hell. Samantha Ware worked with her on Glee, and she said she made racial comments to her and said that she would spit in her wig. Lea quickly apologized and said she didn't remember making the comments, but was sorry if she hurt her. But despite the apology, the accusations just came rolling in from other actors that worked with her, saying that she was always dismissive to black actors and that they don't think it is a coincidence. Lea has yet to respond to the other accusations and has not responded to the request for comment. Starting off our countdown at number 10 is Justin Bieber. Two different accounts on Twitter made allegations this past week that Bieber had raped them back in 2014 and 2015. The account to one of the accusers has been removed, but Bieber responded to the other one, saying that there is no truth to the story. The account, which belongs to a girl named Danielle, claimed the assault happened in Houston, Texas on March 9th, 2014. She said he invited her and two friends to a Four Seasons hotel and took her to a private room where the assault took place. Bieber explained that he was with his then girlfriend Selena Gomez that night and shared paparazzi photos and times which showed that he was not at a Four Seasons hotel. He even shared an Airbnb receipt which confirmed he and Selena were staying somewhere else that night. On top of that, he also shared statements from the Four Seasons hotel confirming that he was never there that night and did not have a room. Rolling into number 9 is Selena Gomez. Her story goes hand in hand with Justin's story that I just told. After he started posting all of those screenshots, people were waiting for her to speak up and confirm that his claims were true. Because if she also gave a statement on the allegations, it could prove that a serious claim like rape has no truth to it. But she didn't say anything, and she has still not responded to anything that is going on online right now. People are now going after her, saying that it is wrong for her to remain silent, especially if she can help put this to rest. Now, the two of them did not have a good breakup, but surely that is not a reason to let him get burned if it's not true. However, if it is true, it wouldn't be right for her to lie just to have his back. People are furious with her as of right now, but for legal purposes, she might have been advised to not say anything. I think we need to consider that, because I'm sure there's like some legal action happening behind the scenes right now. Up next, number 8 is Shane Dawson. The YouTuber is under fire right now after being accused for planning the Tati Westbrook and James Charles drama that happened last year. If you don't remember it, James almost lost his career after Tati Westbrook came forward with serious claims saying that he uses his fame to sexually take advantage of other people, along with a whole other list of claims against his character. Recently, people have claimed that Shane actually influenced the explosive feud and was in on it behind the scenes. He finally posted a statement about it where he denied the allegations but said that James needed some humbling at the time. James was basically crucified during this time, you guys. It was one of the harshest career-damaging scandals on YouTube. Shane posted one final statement saying that he deleted all of the other statements that I just showed you and is officially done with the beauty world. He's probably said that before. In spot number 7 is Shia LaBeouf. His success came from his time in the Transformers franchise, and despite having a bad reputation now, there's no denying that he can act. But his reputation started to go down south when his behavior became completely erratic and weird. In July 2017, he was arrested for disorderly conduct, obstruction, and public intoxication. But it wasn't until video footage of the actor was released that people were left in shock. TMZ released body cam footage which shows Shia cursing at one police officer, calling him different derogatory names, and saying racist comments towards another officer who was black. Since then, people lost a lot of respect for him and his career hasn't fully recovered. However, he is trying to do better nowadays. He seems to be more level-headed and sober. Next up at number 6 is Cole Sprouse. It is a crazy time in Hollywood right now. Every day it seems like there is a new celebrity being accused of sexual assault. Cole Sprouse, along with some of his other Riverdale castmates, was one of the latest celebrities in the scandal. Allegations started circulating on Twitter that he sexually assaulted a woman at a party in 2013. One of the Twitter accounts, who goes by the name Victoria, accused him of fondling her breasts at a party in a series of tweets. Cole defended himself and responded by saying, "False accusations do tremendous damage to victims of actual assault. Furthermore, I would never seek to silence anybody. I encourage that people look into the accusations themselves, as the event's details were factually untrue." The hard thing is, people don't know what to believe because they never want to turn a blind eye in case her story is true, so they just assume and put the hatred on him. Halfway through our countdown, number 5 is Kim Kardashian. There's been an ongoing feud between Kim, Kanye, and Taylor Swift. It felt like it came to an end after footage leaks showing the entire phone conversation when Kanye apparently asked Taylor to use lyrics about her in his song Famous. The full conversation was finally exposed, and nowhere in the call does he ask Taylor's permission to call her a B-word. The call was leaked online and Taylor was thrilled that the truth was finally out. Kim went online to defend her side still, and fans quickly started turning against her. They said that she's a hypocrite for saying that she doesn't care about the drama, but then speaks on it anyway. Plus, she is still denying everything even though there is proof. Like, how long can one person lie for? Just apologize. Cruising into number 4, we have Tana Mongeau. This is not the first time someone has called out the YouTuber for racist behavior, but she is asking for forgiveness once again. A black creator named Kaylin Berry, who worked with her on her collaboration channel Trash, exposed her in a recent video for not taking responsibility for her actions and how her behavior is harming others. During their time working together, he said that Tana had racist behavior towards him by gaslighting him, invalidating his feelings, and framing him as a, I quote, angry black person. He went as far as saying that Tana actually spread rumors to people that he had been arrested. But Kaylin was mostly upset that Tana wouldn't speak up about his video or claims and just promoted her OnlyFans account instead. But she finally responded in a series of tweets where she did apologize and said she was taking her time to learn before she responded. Taking over our third spot is Taylor Swift. When Kanye took the mic from her at the MTV Music Video Awards, people came to her defense and cried for her. But over the years to follow, people have started to kind of turn against her for a variety of reasons. Some people don't believe her side of the whole story about Kanye's song, where she apparently gave him permission to use those lyrics in his song. Some people don't agree with her political views against the president Donald Trump. Some people don't like her music, some people don't like her voice, and some people even criticized her new Netflix documentary, which showed a more personal side to her life. I personally think she's always had mixed opinions. Some people I know have always loved her, some people have always hated her, some people love to hate her. You know, I feel like that's up to you. I did gain more respect for her after watching her documentary though, I gotta say. Taking over the number 2 spot is Jeffree Star. This has been a tough year for the beauty guru, and it's only halfway through. He's been under fire for a variety of things. He was accused of knowing about the Dabby Vanity sexual assault incidents, but did nothing about it. He was also accused of being part of the Tati Westbrook and James Charles scandal, just like Shane Dawson, and he was accused of racial behavior and comments from his past. But the most recent scandal for him has been an old website that resurfaced where he posted offensive and derogatory content. He has apologized for it and asked people to stop spreading the screenshots online as it does not reflect who he is today. As for the James Charles incident, like Shane Dawson, he also denies having anything to do with it. But who do we trust? We don't even know them, so who really fucking knows? Sniping the number 1 place on our list is Chris D'Elia. Right now, the comedian is facing the heat hotter than anyone else on our list. It all started when a girl named Julia Holtzman revealed screenshots that she has been holding on to for years. She posted the photos and explained that Chris randomly DM'd her on Instagram saying that he came across her page randomly. It was clear on her page that she was in high school. She actually posted 16th birthday photos and pictures from high school football games. The screenshot showed that he gave her his phone number and that he asked her to travel to New York City to visit him. Public records have confirmed the phone number is linked to him, and since then 4 other women have come forward with their own inappropriate stories against him, all of which the girls are underage. He responded to all of this by saying, "All of my relationships have been both legal and consensual, and I have never met or exchanged any inappropriate photos with the people who have tweeted about it." However, people do not believe a word that he says, and let's just say that pedophile is one of the nicer names that he's being called right now. I would hate to be him, but he does seem like a pervert.